Happiness is not an ideal of reason, but of imagination. Live your life as though your every act were to become a universal law. The only thing that can be called good without qualification is a good will. In law, a man is guilty when he violates the rights of others. In ethics, he is guilty if he only thinks of doing so. Rules for happiness: something to do, someone to love, something to hope for. All the interests of my reason, speculative as well as practical, combine in the three following questions. First, what can I know? Second, what ought I to do? Third, what may I hope? A person's worth is determined by the way in which he or she spends his or her leisure time. Always recognize that human individuals are ends, and do not use them as mere means to your ends. Immaturity is the incapacity to use one's intelligence without the guidance of another. All our knowledge begins with the senses, proceeds then to the understanding, and ends with reason. There is nothing higher than reason. The busier we are, the more acutely we feel that we live, the more conscious we are of life. I can have knowledge only of phenomena and not of things in themselves. All thought must directly or indirectly, by way of certain characters, relate ultimately to intuitions, and therefore with us to sensibility, because in no other way can an object be given to us. Always treat humanity, whether in your own person, or in the person, or in the other, never merely as a means, but always at the same time as an end. Science is organized knowledge. Wisdom is organized life. Thoughts without content are empty. Intuitions without concepts are blind. Out of the crooked timber of humanity, no straight thing was ever made. I had to deny knowledge to make room for faith. Experience without theory is blind, but theory without experience is mere intellectual play. Morality is not the doctrine of how we may make ourselves happy, but how we may make ourselves worthy of happiness. Act only according to that maxim, whereby you can at the same time will that it should become a universal law. To be is to do. So act that the principle of action might safely be made a law for the whole world. Seek not the favour of the multitude, it is seldom got by honest and lawful means. The mind is the slayer of the real. A lie is a lie, no matter how small. We are not rich by what we possess, but by what we can do without. It is not God's will merely that we should be happy, but that we should make ourselves happy. Experience is the mother of all wisdom. He who is cruel to animals becomes hard also in his dealings with men. We can judge the heart of a man by his treatment of animals. The greatest human achievement is the ability to reform oneself. The concept of duty signifies a necessity of acting out of respect for the law. The human being is not a machine, but the most remarkable of all machines. The two things I value most are good company and good books. Nature is organized for us in order to make our understanding of it easier. Freedom is independence of the compulsory will of another. The wise man can change his mind, the stubborn one never will. By a lie, a man annihilates his dignity as a man.